Hi, welcome back to Waking the Mystic, where we celebrate who and what we are. Today I wanted to talk about one of the biggest barriers to hearing our loved ones or spirit is our belief that we can't. We have been indoctrinated into this world with the belief that we are not capable of receiving messages, interacting with, or being worthy of talking with spirit. And that is like the number one obstacle. I had, was brought up in the Catholic Church. That was frowned upon, and that's just what I was trained to believe. And that is the biggest thing, is to examine our beliefs about whether we can receive or interact or have a relationship with our loved ones after they've passed. And I really, up until recently, had to examine this because I was like this. I kept saying, there's no way this is happening. It's just not, it was not a truth for me. But really, over time, the truth shines. And the truth is, we are that. We are spirit. So why wouldn't we be able to commune with spirit like we do with people? The difference is this physical limitation, the body, prevents us kind of from seeing. What is the phrase? Seeing is believing. Well, it's actually the other way around. Believing is seeing. So during this process, now my husband's been gone for 6 months, we started a dialogue. And one of the interesting, he's sharing with me certain experiences he's having. And one I'll share with you now is a couple of months ago, I am a meditator, so I am trained, I can train my mind to kind of block off and go into another world, you might say. But I found myself in a park, and in the park there were people. And I was sitting on a park bench, and I noticed to my left there was somebody, and to my right there was somebody, and then I saw my husband walking towards me. And during this, there are occasions when I go, is this really happening? But he had a piece of paper in his hand. And he came to me, and I asked him, what is this paper? And he says, it's our contract. And I was like, well, what does this mean? I thought maybe it was a contract he's working on. And he says it was our contract and that it is now finished. It's complete. And he actually lit a fire and he burned the contract. I immediately said, are you breaking up with me? Silly. Are you leaving me? What does this mean? And he said, no, that I was no longer obligated to think of him as my husband. Although he is my love forever, he wants me to be happy and to move on. And he was saying how his shoes will never be filled, but there are other shoes that I need to experience. And I don't mean that as a relationship. I don't know what that means. But at first I took this as you're leaving me. And he was like, on the contrary, we are experiencing each other now on a different level. And to do that, he wanted me to eliminate ideas of obligation to him, because it's it drags me down. It drags us down when we feel like now, guilt for moving on. And he wants me to move on. And I guess that was the biggest message, was it's okay to move on, that I'm no longer obligated to mourn his loss. But what I discovered was he didn't go anywhere at all, and that our relationship is now moving forward on a different level. And so I guess the take home for this particular video is to examine your beliefs about whether or not you think you can receive messages or interact with your loved ones, because I can guarantee you they are knocking on a bubble somewhere like, wake up, wake up, wake up. We're all that. We're all part of the same thing. And whatever we've been taught is not, it's not true. It's not true. So it takes, practice to quiet your chitter-chatter mind, but the window is always open. And I hear him say, I'm not going anywhere. I haven't gone anywhere. And I remember a couple of months ago, I was really sad, and I heard in my ear, outside of my ear, I'm right here. So I don't know, give it a thought. And if you, I will come back with some more interesting perspectives, I guess you might say. So thanks for watching.